Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night. PTP, positive thinking people. Positive thinking people. PTP. Positive thinking people. PTP. Positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to this People to People with Rodney Grimes. I'm just doing the introduction. Cristy McMillian will be hosting with the guests. She will do the introduction of the guests and everything for today. But remember, today is we still are talking about mental awareness, and that's so important, and so many people are dealing with that, and I'm one myself. So I don't want anybody out there to feel like you're strange or you know people gonna be pointing at you, because there's a lot of us out here who have mental health issues one way or another, and the only way that you can start to deal with them is to acknowledge them. I want to take a moment before I turn the hot seat over to Cristy and share something, and this was a book that I got from a mom that was given to her, and when it was suggested to me to read it, I found it to be very beneficial to me. So I'm just going to read this, and then I'm going to turn the program over to Cristy. Let me take my glasses off here. Thank me for your problems. As soon as your mind gets flagged on difficulties, bring it to me with thanksgiving. Then ask me to show you my way to handle the situation. The very act of thanking me release your mind from the negative focus. As you turn your attention to me, the problem fades in significance and loses its power to trip you up. Together we can deal with the situation, either facing it head on or putting it aside for later consideration. Most of the situations that entangle your mind are not today's concern. You have borrowed them from tomorrow. In this case, I lift the problem out of today and deposit it in the future, where it is veiled from your eyes. In its place, I give you my peace, which flows freely from my presence. So basically, I know that I kind of stumbled over that, but the message that I got out of it is, you know, you got to take your problems and don't let them really consume your thoughts. And that's a lot what goes on with the mental health. We got a lot of issues that we deal with, and we hold them right there as we try to deal with different situations every day. Financial, mental, physical, relationships, so forth and so on. And I'm sure that they'll be probably talking about some of them things. But anyway, I just wanted to share that little information with you and tell you that God is good, and let us keep moving forth. We're people to people, and that's all about dealing with the truth, and that's what it's all about. And remember, we're sponsored by the X39 patch, what's that, Life Wave. So y'all definitely want to check into that. And without further ado, hey, Cristy, come on over here and take this hot seat and do what you do.
Thanks, Rodney. Thank you so much. And you know what? Rodney brought up a good point, but before we get to his point, I'm going to introduce our guest, and then we're going to connect with Rodney's words. Our guest is very special and dear to me. She is still my sister-in-law, and I'll tell you why I say still my sister-in-law in just a moment. She is a known author. She's a Christian life coach and my business partner. So let's welcome Lisa Horton.
Hi, Cristy. How
Hi.
are you?
Good. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome. So did you want to tell them about our connection, sister-in-laws?
Cristy is, like she said, still my sister-in-law, but she was married to my husband's brother.
Uh-huh.
So she divorced out the family, but we remain friends.
Yeah.
And we're friends and we're business partners.
Yes.
And we have a strong sisterhood.
Yes. And so now we're here to talk to you guys about mental health. It's mental health awareness, and we are definitely fighting to change the stigma. We can no longer stand by and let people not be okay. It's okay not to be okay. And we're here to talk more about that. And we're going to talk about how mental health goes into relationships and the dynamics of love, marriage, friendships, and relationships with yourself. And what Rodney was saying is so true. It's just like everybody has a lot on their plate. It's not just people who've been diagnosed with an illness. It's just today's world is just busy. And, you know, with faith, we know that we can lay it at the altar. But, you know, with mental health, what is something substantial that you can use, a tool that you can use to just get everything off your plate? It's just, it gets so heavy sometimes. And you're dealing with your mental health and your diagnosis, and you're trying to go to work and raise your kids and stay on top of your meds and your therapy appointments and your regular doctor's appointments. Sometimes I feel like I'm just juggling like 17 balls. Like, I've never been to a circus where I've seen somebody juggle 17 balls. And I'm juggling my life, and I'm tired sometimes. And one day I'm like, well, my therapist said, I'm always amazed, Cristy, on how many balls you carry. No matter what goes on in your life, you never drop those balls. Do you think that's a compliment, Lisa?
It can be.
The audience, I wonder, you guys, you're listening, how many balls are you juggling today? Just think about your life and everything you're doing. I don't think it's a compliment. What would happen if you dropped those balls? I said, you know what? That's not a compliment. That's too much weight on my plate. I'm going to drop the balls. And guess what, y'all? Nothing happened. I'm okay, and I'm still right here. So what I did was I picked up the balls of things. Each ball represented something I'm carrying on my shoulders. All that stress adding to my mental health. Thank you, Pumpkin. So all the balls, I just decided to drop them. And I picked up the balls that pertain to me. And that's what Rodney was saying. You know, there's so much on your plate. Like, sometimes you can just give it to God. You don't have to carry everything.
Right.
Carry what you need and put down what you don't. So if you guys can relate, like, tell us about it. Call in. Call in at 703-752-6120, 703-752-6120. Let us know how you're juggling everything. And let's talk about mental awareness and change the stigma. I think you were going to talk about the forgiveness.
Forgiveness and releasing unforgiveness.
See, she's going to drop a ball. She's going to drop a ball and pick up forgiveness. And how are you going to do that? And why? Why is it so important? I mean, some people, I know they don't feel like it's important to forgive. I've been in that predicament. I didn't want to forgive. So.
We all have, and we all don't want to forgive. But it's a necessity for you to forgive, because it stops you from going forward if you don't forgive.
Yeah.
You know, forgiveness is for us anyway.
It makes space for newness.
It makes space for newness.
Yeah, it does.
It frees up your mind. It'll give you peace. So that's why it's necessary for us to forgive. You know, we don't forget, but we forgive and move on and forget without anger.
That's important.
Right?
That's important because, you know, I know some people hurt. When they're hurting, they hurt others.
Sure they do.
Oh, you know what? You have a book out, and you talk about that, those kind of things in there. Let me see your book.
My first book, Secret Compulsions, talks about.
Can you guys see that? We're gonna post her books up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Secret Compulsions talks about unforgiveness in the heart, and when your heart is hardened. When your heart is hardened, you hurt everybody else around you. So, like you said, hurt people hurt other people, and that's what that book talks about. The addictions that came out of unforgiveness and the people that was hurt around that. The second book, Secret Compulsions, the second book, Secrets Exposed. This is the journal.
Oh, okay. So you didn't bring your Secret Exposed.
The Secret Exposed. I'm sorry, I ran out.
That book is good. I read that one first. She's like, you're not supposed to read that one first.
Yeah, read it in order.
They read it in order, but they're good.
The Secrets exposes where the secrets came from. And it does dive deeper into mental awareness and where that came from.
It's a lot of mental stress. So it's based on a true story.
My books are based on true stories.
So you know about the mental awareness
Yes.
and the mental health and where
Yes.
you were. Where were you mentally?
It was triggered. So I was not doing good in my marriage. And that's where that came from. So that's what the second book talks about. The third book, No More Secrets, is just that it's no more secrets. So everything is out. And talking about mental awareness, people have to talk about it. That's the only way you can get healed.
Get everything out.
Get everything out.
Hurting in silence.
And exactly. So No More Secrets talks about all of that.
That's a good release.
And it's a release. You know, it's not like, because you can, forgiveness is a jail without walls. So once you release that, you're free.
Yeah.
And that's what No More Secrets is. So everyone gonna take away something different from it. Matter of fact, we was talking about hurt people hurt other people.
Yeah.
When I was writing the book, I was angry.
I was going to get to that. Because her first book, I was reading the synopsis.
Synopsis, yes.
And it said serial killer or something. I said, oh, I'm not reading this book.
Yeah.
But then when you explain that you were writing through your hurt and pain of the separation of your husband, and how the mental, it was just so heavy on you.
It was heavy on my heart.
So what you started to do, you started journaling.
Sure.
It turned into a book.
The journal, I journaled 50. I started off 10, then it became 20, then it became 50 words a day. And it helped me just to see how angry I was. So my editor said, well, you need to free up some of that anger. What kind of movies you like? That's when the comedy came in.
Okay.
And that's what kind of made me flow through the hurt.
Okay.
But as I was journaling, I put a face to it. And I saw my anger and my unforgiveness and my frustration and the mental stress the mental anguish I was dealing with. That helped me get better. That put me to a point where I could talk to somebody about it.
Oh, so you knew where you were.
I knew where I was.
Okay, so that was your way of figuring out where you were, so you were able to be relaxed
Connect
to
that.
talk.
Yes.
And then you were able to forgive.
I was able to talk to someone. I was able to give myself to a therapist and talk to someone to say, I'm not connecting dots. I don't feel good. Mm-hmm. Something's not feeling right. So then that's when things started to happen. And that's how I became a Christian coach.
See,
Really.
good things come out of situations. And through my separation and divorce and hurt, I started podcasting. And podcasting is how I got through my hurt and my pain. I was already depressed, and I ended up falling down so much into depression with my divorce that I ended up getting hospitalized. I was so low that I felt like nothing. I mean, being a wife was everything to me. Being married, you know, your husband is wonderful. So imagine his brother. So rock bottom. There was nowhere else to go up. So I went to the hospital, got my treatment, got my meds. I did all my therapy. I even had to do 3 months of outpatient therapy. And then I was able, like you said, the healing started.
Right.
And what was so cool about this transformation with this, I got diagnosed with bipolar because of the divorce, which is a wonderful thing because now I know how to care for myself.
Yeah.
I have a diagnosis. I know what to do for myself. Before I didn't know. I just thought I was kind of weird. You know, now I'm like, oh, I can go get meds. I can go get therapy. Oh, I need this amount of sleep all the time. Oh, I'm up not because I'm stressed or worried. I have insomnia. Okay, so I do need to sleep to reset myself mentally.
Right.
If I don't sleep, I'm off mentally. So the diagnosis was a blessing that came from the divorce, which came from depression.
Yeah.
Now I got the bipolar. So if I never got the divorce, I would have still been misdiagnosed with just depression. Instead of bipolar depression. So from there, I was able to heal. So I've been depressed before. I've been divorced before. I've been remarried before. But this marriage knocked me so far off my feet, it took me 4 years to heal. And that's the best thing that's ever happened. In the last 2 years of my healing, I was doing podcasting. And I just, instead of journaling, I guess I was podcasting all my feelings out. All my childhood triggers. Can anybody relate to this? I feel like there's somebody out there that's been through either one of our stories. Yep. Because it's so that we're talking about mental health in a different angle, you know, because it's not just mental health when you just go to the hospital or you're just depressed or you're just the normal things that people talk about. Let's talk about real life and working with bipolar and schizophrenic, and you have to go to work and you're hearing voices and you still have to do your job and still decipher from the stressors of work, from the stressors of what you're hearing. And it's an amazing thing when you get diagnosed and you know what's going on. Is there anyone here that... Okay, and so I'm going to continue with, is there a call on the line? Okay, caller. Hi, welcome to People to People. What's your name, caller?
My name is Keisha Sanders.
Hi, Keisha. Welcome to the show.
Hi, honey.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Are you having a good day?
Yes, it's a good day today.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about mental health awareness, and we want to change the stigma.
Yes, ma'am.
So have you ever been diagnosed or a family member?
Yes, ma'am. I'm schizophrenic, severe PTSD, manic depressive, and dual personality. I take Seroquel, 600 milligrams at night. I take Seroquel, 100 milligrams in the morning, and Zoloft in the morning, just to be able to live.
I understand. That's wonderful. Okay, I understand that.
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you function every day? Like, what's your routine to function? Because I know, like, it's really hard to just. We're different. When you get diagnosed with something, we can't just walk through our day. Every
In the
moment is a
mornings, I wake
fight.
up in the mornings, I get up, I pray first before I put my feet on the floor.
Hmm.
I go to the bathroom, I wash my face, brush my teeth. I thank God for waking me up the whole time. I go down the steps and I fix me a glass of, I fix me some coffee. I like coffee with hazelnut with hazelnut.
That's what I do. Me too.
And I sit down and I reflect for the day. I have a lot going on. My mom and my dad, but mostly my mom. I don't have a good relationship with my mom. My mom is really abusive to me. I'm 52 years old, and my mom has me and my brother Antoine. And Antoine is 50. I'm 52. And my mom favors him. It's been that way all our lives. I don't bother with that, but the thing of it is that things happen at my mom's house, and she called me to come and sit at her house for people to come at her house because she say people are stealing on her house. But everything that has happened to me is at the hands of my mom. And I've been taking medication for a long time. I'm not a bad person. I do everything that I'm supposed to do. I try to keep it right, keep it tight because of my mental.
Yes.
And my mom is not, she's no help, but my mom is a minister in the city of Alexandria. And I tried to be a good daughter to her, but I don't know how to be a good daughter to somebody who's that mean. She's a very abusive, mentally, physically, and abusive to me. So I just stay to myself, and I do what I got to do out here on the playground with the kids. I got the people out here that I live, they call me Aunt Keisha. Aunt Keisha this, Aunt Keisha that. The little kids come running when I open up my door. They run through my house like they own the place. These kids is terrible.
They make you
So
smile.
if I open up my door, you're going to hear how much love they have for Aunt Keisha.
Okay. Would you be open to us coaching you real quick through some triggers and through maybe a quick task of forgiveness, just about changing perceptions?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you.
I'm open for any help that I can get.
And thank you so much, Queen, for sharing and coming on and contributing to the conversation, because this is what it's about.
Man, I just want to be healthy.
Yes, yes.
And as long as I take my medication, and I do, I'm healthy. I just got out of Mount Vernon Hospital. I checked myself in because I had hurt my arm, but I also needed to get my medication because I didn't have a way to get my medication. So I checked myself in Mount Vernon Hospital. So now I have my medication, and I'm good. I'm in the process of having a Father's Day bash for my dad, for Father's Day, and any other father that I could think of. I'm about to set it off out here in the bird for myself and my dad. My dad is a good dad. He's a pastor, and he's a good dad, but my mom is my big problem.
Okay. So the first thing we want to do is for forgiveness. Just to connect with your mom. There's one
exercise. I don't want to connect with her.
Okay. You do not want to?
No.
Okay.
I've been doing this for 52 years. I'm tired.
Would you like to?
Physically and emotionally tired. My mom has beat me enough. I'm done.
Okay.
I can't do this with her no more.
Okay. Did you want to forgive but not forget? But just
I forgive her. I forgive her. Okay. She's only human.
Okay.
But I'm her only daughter. And she's turned my brother Antoine and my son David against me because she said I'm being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm just protecting myself. So they don't call me or nothing. I don't bother with them. I deal with the people in the neighborhood.
Okay. Okay, I would like to also talk about triggers because that's important too, because that will help you process when somebody makes you really upset.
My triggers are yelling.
Yelling is your trigger?
You're yelling at your children. You're yelling at me. I have a problem with yelling. When I get with my mom, I always take my headphones and I like the Williams brothers. I put my headphone on and I get to jumping and shouting and praising them in my head with my headphones on. because I can't handle my mom.
I applaud you on knowing your triggers. That's very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Okay,
I've
and I'm
been
going
doing
to
this
invite
a long
Rodney in,
time,
okay?
since I was 17 years old. I have my son David. I had a daughter. She passed away in '94. So I go through a little of that. But my schizophrenia is I have a baby that's crying in my head, and there's two people in the background screaming and hollering at each other. And last June, Miss Amanda Gill, Dr. Palmer, and Mr. Ricardo Lifter, they helped me. And I found out that the little baby that's crying is me. And the people in the background is my dad and my mom. My dad trying to protect me from my mom.
So hey,
this
Keisha,
is good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
I'm good.
I'm only interacting because I'm going through a lot of things that different people have experienced, and I don't want this program to just to reveal the whole story, because you have a story to tell.
Yes, sir, I do.
And we're gonna bring you into the studio.
Oh,
We're
wonderful.
Right, we're gonna bring you into the studio because I want you to be able to really get a chance to express yourself.
Yes, sir.
And to be perfectly honest with yourself and everyone who wants to listen and those who know you.
Yeah,
I
we
talked
need
to my
to hear
pastor.
your story. A lot of people.
Pastor Albert P. Jackson, Ebenezer Baptist Church, 909 Queen Street. I talked to my pastor.
Right.
I shared with my pastor.
Okay,
I
so
don't want to throw daggers at my mom, but she's a sitting pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, but she don't have a relationship with me. I don't trust her. I'm afraid of her. I can't speak in front of her. I can't say what I want to say. She yells at me. I ask her not to buy me food. She buy me food, and she yell and scream at me when I get the food because I like chitlins and she don't eat pork, and it's just a mess.
yeah, so this is what I'm gonna suggest. What I want you to do is we're gonna set it up to get you into the studio, okay?
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna bring you in, and we're gonna have it so you're gonna be able to express yourself. Because let me tell you something, you're not by yourself.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
sir.
you're not.
See, you're not the only
You're
person who have to deal with issues like this.
Right, my daddy is behind me all the way. My dad is behind me. The only thing I had with my dad is abandonment issues. My dad has been there. My father's name is Minister Charles Golden. That's my father. And my dad he's my rock. He's my pops. He's my dad. He's my daddy. My dad is there. He's always there. And he told me, you got to do what you got to do, baby girl. You got to stay away. I got to stay away.
That's
Did
good.
you want
I'm not on no drugs. I take my medication. I may smoke a little marijuana, drink a little beer, but that's all I do. I take care of my own home. As a matter of fact, I take care of other people's children. I raise my grandchildren. I raise my son's children.
Queen.
I got pictures and I got memories too.
Keisha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute. Hold on, Miss Lisa. Did you want to add something to Keisha's situation?
Hi, Keisha. How are you?
Yes, hi.
I just want to intervene for just a minute.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh,
Not
can you
really.
hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can you turn your phone up just a little bit?
She can't hear me.
Oh, it's because she's not on the right.
Oh, just talk.
Yo, so you just if you could just talk.
Can you hear me, Keisha?
I can hear you, beautiful. I can hear you, baby girl. I can hear you.
Okay. I was listening to you talk about your relationship with your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
And a lot of families have these different family dynamics,
Yes,
right? And we can't change people, but
I'm not trying to change them. I got to change me.
yes, and
And I'm doing what I got to do for me.
yes, and that's the point I'm trying to make. You need to really love yourself.
I do. I do. I keep it cute, keep it right, and keep it tiger. I'm okay. I take my medicine. I smoke my weed. I drink my beer. I don't do nothing to delete my medicine out my system because I can't. It's too much going on in my head.
And I applaud you
And
for
applaud-
taking your medicine.
Yes.
I'm a very strong advocate for medicine.
I'll take it as prescribed. I just
Okay,
need to get
but-
my medical team, Miss Amanda, Dr. Palmer, and Mr. Ricardo here at the CSP. I just need help to
Okay,
get them
Queen.
back. I'm doing what I got to do. I don't look backwards. I keep going forward.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay,
That's very
Queen,
good
we're
for
gonna see you
Can I
when you
say
come
this,
in,
though?
okay? Thank
Can
you
I
for
say this,
calling.
guys? I have a lady in my life. Her name is Penny Paulette Taylor. That's my mom. That's my mommy. Mommy, she's taught me a lot. She's been here with me. That's been my rock.
Actually,
Penny Paulette Taylor.
Keisha,
Yes, sir.
I know Penny. I know your
Yeah.
mom, and
Mhm.
and I'm so proud of you. What I'm gonna do is we got to jump back onto the program, but I want you to know that I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you and set it up for you to come in and be able to sit down and we're gonna talk. And I'm gonna bring you in, and you're gonna be able to really get into everything that you want to talk about. Okay?
Okay, I've been through this enough. I'm ready.
I got you. I'll call you. I'm
I got
gonna
my
call you later
own
on.
place.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Not a problem. We love you, babe.
We love you,
I love
Keisha.
you too. Thank you,
Thank
guys. Thank you so much. Thank you
No
so
problem,
much.
baby. No
Bye-bye.
problem.
Thank you so much. I'm ready when you're ready, Mr. Grimes. That's why I called you.
I know. I got you. I'm
And I also
already.
talked to Pastor Jackson.
I'm gonna be right on the phone with you real soon. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have
Welcome.
a great night.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
Okay.
Bless you. Bless
Thank
you.
you guys so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Wow.
So I'm amazed.
I am too.
It takes guts. You know, I'm always saying, you know, what I'm diagnosed with and going through my story, and it feels nice to have somebody else share their story.
Sure.
Because it's not easy to share what's going on with you.
It's,
When
it's not you. I am going to interrupt. You got to when you hear stories like that, it's encouraging, like you said, to know that you're not alone.
You're not alone.
And if you just speak, because this is a new day. You know, back with our parents and grandparents, they hid a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
to the day they died, literally.
Right.
Literally, yeah.
So this is a new day. It's so much stuff out here. So many people that's going through the same thing. So if you open up, then you can help someone else that's helping you too.
Yes.
You
That's the whole
know,
point of why we're
That's
here.
the whole point of mental awareness.
You know what? And like you said about back in the day when our parents were growing up, my grandma used to walk up and down the street, and you know, nobody really tried to figure out what was going on with her. They just made fun of her and called her Crazy Helen.
No.
They have no idea if she was schizophrenic, bipolar. She could have been just praying. She was always praying. Nobody knew if she was just doing prayer walks or what. Nobody tried to figure out what was going on. They just called her Crazy Helen.
I'm going to interject. Y'all can't see me, and the reason why, because this is Mental Awareness Month, and this is not something for us to take lightly.
Right.
We have so many people that's dealing with this illness and situation, and sometimes people don't understand. And as Cristy just said, you know, even when your grandmother was walking up the street, I grew up with a lady who walked up the street and on my block, and she had a drinking problem. I'm not gonna call her name, but we all knew. But people are not aware that mental illness starts from the birth. The way people treat you, how you love, some of the things you're exposed to. Mental illness comes from drug abuse,
Concussions.
all kind of things. So I'm not going to stay on. I just wanted to make sure that everyone that's tuning in know that this is about us bringing it to the forefront. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to deal with it, because we all have it and have these issues. If you think about it and go back and talk to everybody in the United States of America, we're not talking about the world, but we talk about the United States of America. I guarantee you, every other person that you talk to is having some type of mental illness that they have to deal with, one way or the other. And so we want people to feel real comfortable to call in. Cristy and Lisa, they're both here to talk with you. And the number is 703-752-6120. Please call in if this is a topic that you want to discuss, because it's Mental Awareness Month, and they're open to really share that information. And as Miss Lisa was talking about, this is part of what your book is about, correct?
Yes, sir.
So when you're addressing these issues, what's the name of the book?
The first book is Secret Compulsions.
And the second?
is Secrets Exposed.
Okay, and these.
And the third, about to publish.
About to publish is No More Secrets.
There we go. So I'm going to get back out of there. I was feeling Keisha's energy.
Yeah.
I love that she called.
Yeah.
And she said not only her diagnosis, she explained about the voices that she heard in her head.
Yeah.
She knew who they were. She knew the purpose of why they're there. You learn all of this through therapy. Mm-hmm. This is how you get connections and you get to go on your journey of your mental wellness. It's at your pace. To get on your journey and to enjoy healing and wellness is getting to know your diagnosis. Mm-hmm. She knows what's going on. And she has total control, not the doctors. She does.
Yeah. If I may add one more thing too, and this is the reason why I'm just saying, because I'm going through some issues myself, right? Miss Lisa, when you said something that was so powerful, when you was talking about acknowledging and getting it out, talking about it.
Yeah.
I've been going through some personal issues with myself that are mentally challenging me. Okay. And reason why I don't have a problem talking about it, because Cristy, you also said this last week when I said, Cristy, don't tell people that you on medication. And you said, why not? Why can't I be honest? You said, why? And let me apologize to you personally for saying that, because now I understand why you are so open. And I think that is so courageous of you. And I received that, okay?
Thank you.
Now, I'm, like I said, I don't want, because I'm a talker. And I want to mind my business, let these ladies finish doing what they're doing. But I want to tell you that was part of what I was trying to do yesterday. I'm dealing with some illness. I'm dealing with some relationship problems. I'm dealing with some financial problems. I'm dealing with some spiritual problems. I'm telling you.
He's juggling the balls. That's what we're doing. We're juggling it. And you don't have to juggle 17 balls.
Not at one time.
Just drop them and pick up the ones you need.
Or the one that you can fix right away.
The ones you can fix right away. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm sorry I interrupted, Cristy.
It's okay. But Rodney, has your mom, when you were little, ever helped you clean your room and had to get all the stuff from under your bed and you were in trouble because your room was dirty?
Well, to be honest with you, no. You know why?
Why?
My mom would just make me clean it until it was done right. So, but...
I'm going to show you the connection in a minute.
Okay. Well, then let me go back and say yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I have something to say. Okay. Being real, people like when you're real. People can feel when you are authentic. Mm-hmm. My books are murder mystery books because I like murder mysteries. And it got me through to tell my story. Mm-hmm. But people wanted to, like, oh, Christians don't talk like that.
I hate that. We all people. What do you mean?
And they was judging me. But my book is easy to read, and it connects to people, connects to their heart.
To real people. Not
so
fake.
people will understand, oh, somebody's going through something.
Honey, her book is saucy.
It's a little spicy,
mm-hmm.
but it's tasteful.
It's tasteful. It's classy.
It's classy, but it speaks to when you really get into the middle of the second book on toward the third book. It speaks to where these illnesses were triggered
and the healing
that had to take place. And as a coach, that's where I come from. You have to heal, because if you don't heal, then it's going to spread like cancer, mm-hmm. right? That
all them secrets
and unforgiveness and
anger,
and people going to be tired of hearing you being bitter. They not going to be around you.
Yeah, keep going.
They not going to be around you, and that's going to create loneliness. Mm-hmm. So that's why I feel that it's good to go and speak about your challenges, because it affects everything. The longer you keep it secret, the more we suffer in silence. It affects your relationships, your finances, mm-hmm. everything.
Your work,
your focus,
your sleep,
your physical health, your spiritual health.
And then that's where the breakdown.
And that's where's a meltdown.
Yeah.
So please, 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 it's hitting everybody's family.
Yeah.
You're not by yourself. We're not by ourselves. We're here to support each other. So the more we talk about it, the easier it becomes.
That's right. And I agree. We really got to change the stigma, you guys. Thank you. Welcome to People to People with Rodney Grimes. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I have my business partner, Lisa, here. Lisa, the author. She's a Christian relationship coach. I am also a Christian relationship coach, and I'm a peer support counselor. So I went and got a certification to deal with mental health and some abuse, drug abuse and all that stuff. But I'm mainly focused on mental health. So I was going to say, I had this I forgot what it's called, but whatever you call it. So I was saying, it's like sometimes mental health is like cleaning your room. When you're all cluttered up and stressed, if you didn't get the analogy, that's the word I was trying to remember, about juggling, maybe you'll get this analogy. When your room is junky or your kid's room is junky or you're cleaning your house, let's you take one room at a time. And this is your brain. Let's say you have all these thoughts. Sometimes this is just not even my whole brain. This is just a section of me at work. I have to, hey caller, I have to take everything out of my room. So I sweep everything out of my brain, and I literally just take back into my brain the things that I would need in that moment. Yep. And the only things, caller, I'll be right with you. And the only things that I take back and...
This is Nate from Old Food, Chef McCoy.
Hi, Nate?
How are you?
Gerald. Hi, Gerald. I'm well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous, thank you.
Gerald, are you able to turn down your computer or your phone? There's a lot of feedback. Please. There's feedback coming. Can you turn down your volume?
Yeah, let me do that right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
I got you. Yes, let me go and see what Okay.
Thank you, Gerald. Welcome.
My pleasure.
So, how
are you?
I'm well. So, how are you connecting with Mental Health Month?
I'm sorry. One more time. Ask me again.
How are you connecting with Mental Health Awareness Month? How are you doing mentally?
I mean, this is a really interesting topic for me because mental health challenges run in our family on so many levels. My mom, my father, he was a chef also, and pretty well respected. In fact, he was an individual who was as much of a food enthusiast as I, and that's a whole other conversation as it relates to parallels between us and with regard to the craft. He passed away in 2016. However, his challenges was bipolar. He was bipolar, and then my brother, who when he was 16, we came home from school because we went to a private school. We came home from school on a half a day. I don't know if it was on a Wednesday. I remember it as if it was 5 minutes ago. We came home from school, and we were living in D.C., and we looked out back, and he was laid. There was a lot of people standing around. Unbeknownst to us, it was my brother. He was laid in the fetal position with salivating from the mouth at 16 years old. And he actually, it was drugs. I think it was a lot of acid or something or other that triggered that illness. So he said that was 16. So today he is actually, he's 58 years old. He's never lived a productive life. He struggled, been in and out of many mental institutions, and oh my God, just you name it. So when you talk about, mental health awareness, it's not, for me, it's not just a month. You know, I have to stay prayed up. I have to continuously affirm myself and remind myself, in spite of whatever I may be dealing with or going through, that my best things are yet before me. I have to speak into existence,
That's good. That's
my
very
realities,
good.
my belief system, you know. I have to continually do that, you know, to fight, you know, or counteract those feelings I may have. Because there's been a point in time in my life, you know, when I was really, really struggling with, you know, some things at a point in time, I wanted to take my life, you know, because I didn't see no way out, and I didn't see that there was any other, you know, another road, you know. So it goes further than my brother, because my grandmother, my father's mother, she actually killed herself.
Okay.
I think she was probably, she was in her 30s. She killed herself. Her daughter, my aunt, she did the same thing. She killed herself. They both committed suicide.
So do you feel like
You
you're
know,
breaking
so,
are you breaking the chain of the family by getting to know your diagnosis?
I believe that everything that God has taken me through, who He has exposed me to, who I've been around, and who I've actually learned from, and even a lot of the books that I've read, you know, has helped me, you know, with, you know, understanding, you know, that struggle, and then seeing some of the things my brother had to struggle with, many different personalities and different challenges, and you name it, just on and on and on and on and on, you know. So I thank God every day, you know. It's a daily thing, you know. I have to continually remind myself that, Gerald, you got to stay in the fight, man. People need you. And
that's right,
you
Gerald.
know,
Don't
you
give
have
up.
value.
You are. You're still in the fight.
You know,
That's right.
so yes. You know, so you know, whenever I have the opportunity to have a conversation with somebody who's struggling with anything, I'm more than willing to start whatever I'm doing, you know, to make sure they understand that you have my heart, you have my ear, you have my, you know, my encouragement, you have my whatever is needed to help you understand that you don't have to take those measures, or you don't have to go down that path, so to speak, you know. Not because I have all the answers, but I believe that if you know, because, you know.
Gerald, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can.
For the audience, I want them to know the process. Was there a certain way that you were diagnosed? How did you know? How did you know about your diagnosis? What was the process?
How did I know about my family members? You mentioned about the lineage?
Yes, you said that some members were already diagnosed.
I learned, like, my cousin, my first cousin, and I have a really, really good relationship. That's her mom. So that's the aunt that I'm speaking of. You know, she and I, we developed a relationship. I mean, there's so many things that I struggled with over the years. A low self-esteem, and you know, didn't have a lot of family. And when I found myself in quagmire moments, you know, I didn't know how to, you know, I didn't know how to get out of it. You know, so there was people that I was able to reach out to, and I'm glad that they put a limitation on the times that I could call them, and you know, and ask for help. You know.
That's great that you had a support system. Yeah, that's very important to have a support system. That's great. We also have Keisha on the line. She's going to join our conversation. Hi, Queen. Welcome back.
Hey, baby girl.
Hi. We have Gerald on the line as well. He is speaking about the family dynamics of mental health.
Hey, Gerald. How you doing, baby?
You want them together?
I'm great, thank you. How about yourself?
That's good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I wanted to come back on the line because I'm an usher at Ebenezer Baptist Church, where my pastor, Albert P. Jackson, resides. And I want to go back to church.
Uh-huh.
I think, but if I go back to church, my mom says she's going to leave the church because she don't want to be there with me. I
Okay.
did nothing wrong.
And Gerald, are you still here?
I'm I'm here.
Okay, so right now, this is great because Keisha is talking about family dynamics, and so are you, Gerald. And it's very wonderful that you guys are sharing the dynamics of how do you get along with family members and choices, and you're dealing with mental wellness, and people are trying to tell you what you should do, shouldn't do, trying to control your thoughts. Right. When you want to be your own person and you want to have your own journey, and as you're watching your family members and you're watching them develop, and you want to be there for them. And I see that Gerald has a wonderful support system. And Keisha, we're going to work with you and make sure you have a support system. Here, we're going to start with people to people.
I appreciate that.
Okay?
I need that because I've been on my own since I was 17. And it's time is now.
Keisha, we got you, okay? We're going to take care of you. And Rodney said he's going to give you a call, okay? And you're going to come on, and we're going to be your support team. We're going to starting here.
The time is now.
The time is now, okay? He's going to give you a call. Thank you for calling back, Queen. You have a good night, okay?
I need my queens on my crown. I gotta get it together.
Okay. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the studio, okay? I love you too. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And this is what I love, because the family dynamics, and Gerald was just talking about how he has his support team.
That's important.
People don't understand mental wellness. You got to have patience and support.
Yeah. That's very important to have support. Mm-hmm. But like you said, you have to have patience. I have a question for either yourself or the caller.
Gerald, Lisa has a question for you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, by all means.
The young lady was talking about her church.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind me asking, if you just a little bit, please.
He can't hear me. Oh, I'll talk up.
Okay.
Do you feel the church is doing enough to address mental awareness? Because it looks like to me the churches that I have visited, they kind of keep that under wraps. They don't know. I don't know if that's not their calling, or they just don't know how to talk about it.
Right. Well, in my opinion, let's just speak metaphorically for a second. Mm-hmm. In the community, it takes someone with a vision to bring something to life, if you understand what I'm saying. For example, let's just say where you live at, a restaurant appears and shows up, and it creates this huge phenomenon because it has the great whatever that is that you may like. Mm-hmm. So you go out and spread the word, and you just you talk about it. And I think that's the same concept, same or similar concept or mindset we have to have with those initiatives. If we feel that initiative, like a church is only an entity, it's only a building. We as individuals are the church.
Correct.
And I liken this, what I'm saying, to a recipe, for example. A recipe is not a recipe without several things that actually makes it up to bring together one thing that comes to life, if it makes any sense. Okay? So, for example, let's just say in a macaroni and cheese, you have this, you have that, you have this, you have that to make up that thing that you enjoy, if you will. Okay? So with one of those things missing, so one of those components or one of those recipes or ingredients, if you will, missing, then it's not what you like. Okay? I think it's the same thing with mental health awareness,
Yeah.
And, there are people that I confide in and I talk to, just even recently, even yesterday, I was in a quagmire. I was stuck. I was thinking about some things because there were some decisions I needed to make, okay, on some things. Mm-hmm. Because oftentimes you may hear somebody, you may bring something to somebody, and this particular individual or individuals may say, wow, I never thought about that. Because God created each one of us with a uniqueness that without others to make up a whole, okay, then the whole is non-existent without you as a part of it. And you could be the catalyst that actually starts that ball rolling, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you feel as though your voice is loud enough that you need to push the initiative.
Yeah.
So someone might say, well, where did a piece of place come from, man? A piece of place is all changed, this, that, and the other. Perfect example. I don't use this. I'm not promoting their business. I'm only talking about this only because, just like many other people have gone to the emergency room and you have sat for hours. You're like, why did you sit so long in the emergency room? Why? And then someone had the mind, the vision,
Gerald.
to say, you know what?
Oh, we have another.
They were just as tired of it just like us, but they had the mind and the vision to be forward thinking and say, you know what? Let's create a need. The need was to help alleviate you having to wait for a long period of time.
Hi, thank you for calling People to People. This is Cristy.
What is it called? Care First, or the little hubs in the community, different parts of the community. You know, you can go there and you might not have to wait as long as they do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Hey, Gerald. Gerald?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have another caller.
Actually, we got another caller, I think, that's calling in from another location. And I need you to come back and for you to come on the show with me.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So can I give you a call after the show today so we can set that up?
Of course you can.
Okay. All right.
And Gerald, we really appreciate you adding to the conversation of mental wellness. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you so much.
Yes. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And ma'am,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Thank you for holding. May I have your name?
Missy.
Hi, Missy. Welcome to People to People. What's on your mind?
You know, I was thinking about the mental health thing. You know, people don't understand that. It starts from home. It starts when you're young. Because people in life have traumatic things that happen to them that they don't talk about. I, myself, have been through stuff from childhood to the age I am now. I'm 55 years old. I have been a victim for a long time of sexual abuse, rape, loss of loved ones, loss of child. In fact, I lost 2 children.
I'm sorry.
And I always put myself, I'm always in a situation where I'm being used. And people don't understand that it affects you mentally. It makes you not feel worthy. And I've been in that stage for, basically all my life. I've never felt worthy of anything. I go above and beyond to help other people, but nobody helps me. And I've been talking to a psychiatrist lately, and they say, oh, you're going to get better, but you don't. You don't. It's all based on you. I'm always saying, what is it like to be loved? What is it like to be happy? I don't know happy. I don't know love. I know the love from your children. You know, my children love me, but sometimes they hate me too, because my child has actually told me they wished I was dead. They actually told people that I was dead. The last conversation I had with one of my children a while back told me, you know, you're the worst mom in the world because when my brother died, you didn't cry. They don't understand. That's all mental for me because I was in shock.
Have you ever, sorry to interrupt you, Missy, I'm so sorry. I was thinking about what you were saying and how you were saying that you're doing a lot for others and how it made you feel like basically unworthy and that you were going to a therapist and they said it would get better with time. Lisa, she has a wonderful way of how she talks. She's a life coach, by the way, which she gets you more active and she talks about boundaries.
Yes.
Have you ever tried boundaries? It takes practice. It's not just something you would do just one time.
No. I haven't.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but is it okay if we talked a little bit more that would help you, well, not help, but support you to get closer to your goals of being independent and not being used? I mean, it happens to all of us. I'm a giver. I'm like you. You give to everybody, and you want to have the love give back to you, and it just seems like it's never reflected. I understand totally.
Yeah,
but I didn't get what I needed until I started setting boundaries.
Yes.
Not just for others, how they treat me, but how I also treat myself. What I allow.
That's the thing. I've never experienced anybody treating me like I was equal. I've never been treated equal to anybody else. This old lady, what she can give. Let's take what we can take from her. But when I hurt, they hurt, I'm supposed to sit back and just listen and feel sympathetic and care about how they feel. But when I hurt, oh, you get over it. We don't got time for that. Like, I can't go to my family and say, hey, can I get a couple of dollars to put gas in my car? Don't you got a job? Always.
Hi, her name is
Missy.
Hi, Missy. This is Lisa. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Fine. Yes, ma'am.
I want to, if it's okay, I want to address something. You say that you didn't know what love looked like. I am a Christian relationship coach, and I come from the avenue of healing. So I would suggest that you put a face to it. You know, you put a face. What do you think love looks like to you? And as Cristy was talking about, boundaries will help. You know, because people's going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So you have to love yourself and set boundaries, and it can be small boundaries, like climbing up a mountain. You know, set boundaries for the way you want your children to talk to you, the way you want your family to talk to you, even the way you talk to yourself. You know, so that is, once you start doing that, believe me, you will see light. You will free yourself up from that, you know, from being hurt. It's not going to
I've been belittled all my life, so I don't know what that's like and don't know how to start that process.
Oh, I can give you examples. Is it okay if I share?
Love yourself. How can I love myself when I don't know how to?
Do you okay, let's start this. Do you what do you like to do? Do you like to journal, or do you like to read? Or exercise? What do you do for yourself?
Nothing. I'm not supposed to.
Who told you you're not supposed to?
No.
Did Oh, she's at work. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Did you tell yourself that you're not supposed to do that?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm at work.
Okay.
We won't go too
we
deep
won't
into
go
it,
too deep.
but just the things that you used to like to do when you were like 4, 5, and 6. Go try to revisit those things and see if that makes you smile.
What happened?
Okay, Missy.
Yeah, I'm listening, guys.
Okay.
Or Missy, if you don't mind, I can give you my number and you can call me.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to talk to you.
Okay.
Are you?
Guys, I know y'all talking to me on air. Can I lay the phone down for one quick sec?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
We're
Absolutely.
on the air.
We'll be here.
You go ahead and put the phone down, and we'll talk. And when you're ready, just start speaking. Okay? We'll stop.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Missy, for contributing.
I love you, Sid.
We have another caller.
Hello, caller. State where you calling from.
I'm Keisha Sanders. I'm calling from Alexandria, Virginia. I'm on the tap back in.
Hi, Queen.
Hey, Keisha, we have another caller that's on the line, sweetheart. And
okay.
So I want to hold you because I'm going to call you personally, okay?
Okay.
Right.
I'm
We
going back
love
to this.
you.
I'm going
Thank
back.
you.
Okay.
Oh, she's gonna come back. The noise. noise?
She's
Okay.
at work.
Let me turn it down. Okay, we're gonna call Missy back.
Okay.
Lisa, thank you. Can you talk more about boundaries? You were speaking about boundaries with Missy, because she'll probably go back and replay this.
I was separated. Before my marriage got better, it got worse. Okay. So, God blessed me to continue my marriage, but even if He didn't, I had to set some kind of boundaries.
You are the boundary queen.
I'm
Let
the-
me tell you, I did not even know about boundaries, but she's the boundary queen. So I'm telling you, if you take her step by step and listen to her, things will change.
It will, and just take it step by step because, like I was explaining to Missy, people only going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So you need to set boundaries for how you want other people to treat you. You need to set boundaries on if you don't like yelling, if you don't like cursing, if anything, and you need to set boundaries on how you talk to yourself. That's important too because it starts with you, and you need to be confident when you do it. And the more you do it, like if you journal, you broadcast, you read, you write, anything you like to do, exercise, get in that moment, get in that frame of mind that I want to be loved, I am important. And that'll start some kind of peace in your mind, so boundaries, I live by boundaries.
And I'm learning to live by boundaries too, even at work.
Yes, work, your co-workers. And, I've been married for going on 32 years, and this is the best of my life. But me and my husband respects my boundaries, and I respect his,
Beautiful.
And
he didn't leave you because you set boundaries. I think that was one of my biggest fears on setting boundaries is that I was going to lose friends or respect.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that boundaries, but my life is so much better now with boundaries.
Yeah, and that's
It's
okay
very
if
clear.
you lose friends with the boundaries because they wasn't your friends in the first place.
Okay.
I'm just intervening for a second, and I just want to say this. We are not claiming to be licensed psychiatrists or anything, so we're just the program that allow you to call in and talk about your issues. And these coaches, they take classes to do these things,
Yes,
but they are not doctors.
We're certified.
They're not taking on responsibility to say that they are going to change your life. They're just giving you an opportunity to be able to talk, to be able to share your information, and let you know that you are not alone. So we just wanted to make that very, very clear that when you call into people to people, we are not claiming to be doctors, lawyers. We're not practitioners. We're not any type of psychiatrist.
Psychiatrists. We're not any of those.
This is just an opportunity for you to have a conversation to make sure that you are heard and you're not alone.
That's right.
That's right.
And while Rodney is giving that claimer, I would like to give a claimer where you can go and get help. Okay? The most important thing is if you feel like you need help and you feel like you're going to kill yourself, first thing you do is to call 911. If you have someone that can take you, go to the nearest emergency room immediately. That's the first thing you do. Now, if you feel like you're not sure, you're just feeling blue, but you're not sure if it's depression, you don't feel like you're suicidal, but you're losing hope, and you live in the Fairfax County area, there's a place called the Woodbine. And Woodbine is at right next to Fairfax Hospital, and it's Willows Oaks. So Willows Oaks, that building, behind that building is Woodbine. It's a mental health facility where they will go and evaluate you, and you can get evaluated, and they can tell you if you need to go see a therapist or if you need to go to the hospital immediately. And then also there is the Gartland Center. These are places if you do not have insurance or if you have Medicaid. You can go to the Gartland Center, which is the CSB, the Community Service Board, and you can go get mental help there. They have outpatients, therapy there. They have outpatients for 3 months hospitalization there as well, where you can get help. And also in Alexandria City, they also have the CSB Community Board. And There's also Naomi.com, where you can go and get information about mental health. So please, please, please. And if you have insurance, turn to the back of your insurance card. There's literally a number that says behavioral health. Call that number and get information. If you're still not sure what to do, call your primary care, meet with them, and they will tell you what steps to take next. Okay. That's all. I just want to make sure you guys know where to go.
And like Rodney said, we are coaches, but we're here to help you shift your thoughts. Because I know when you're dealing with challenges, you think you're alone, you think you're unlovable, you think you're not worthy. But if you just shift your thoughts, just a little, just read a verse, your favorite verse from the Bible, just talk some self-love talk. It'll take away some of that thought. You won't drown yourself into thinking that I'm not worthy or I'm not lovable. And that's when the boundaries, here I go with the boundaries, that's when the boundaries will creep in, because you'll love yourself enough to say, well, hey, look, I'm not going to take this anymore. Then you'll be happy. It's not as easy as I make it sound, just like those steps, but once you learn how to love yourself, because, going through a marriage is tough.
Going through divorce
and
too,
even when you get a divorce, that could trigger something too. You have to learn how to do stuff all over again.
Yes.
So that can trigger some emotional challenges. So
just
food for
get
thought.
help. Go get medicine if you need medicine. Get clarity so you can do the steps that Lisa was talking about. That's very, very important. So thank you for tuning in to People to People. Don't forget about Lisa's book. It does talk about mental awareness and family dynamics. She has her 3 books. Please tell us about your wonderful books. All 3.
All 3. The first is Secret Compulsions. Secret Compulsions is more about the addictions and the hurt that follows those addictions. The second book, Secrets Expose where that hurt comes from. And it does talk about mental awareness, whether it's triggered or whether it's hereditary. And No More Secrets is where unforgiveness is released. And it's going to be in a box set. We're looking at the June date. It's going to be in a box set, and it's going to be in print copy and audio. And you can get the books on Amazon, and also you can email me at lisa.horton@23@yahoo.com. lisa.horton23@yahoo.com.
Is anybody able to type that in? Can you type it, Pumpkin? Can you use your keyboard and type it in? Okay, we're going to put that in there. Okay, and thank you so much for coming in. And Lisa, thank you for sharing. And all the callers, thank you for coming in and being so vulnerable and contributing to the conversation. This is what People to People is about. Like Rodney said, we're not doctors. We're not trying to heal anybody. We just want you to know you're not alone. We want to be your support system because we are here for the community. So thank you for calling in and sharing your story. And Lisa, thank you for coming in and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Rodney, thank you for letting us come on. Are the mics still on? Because I forgot to tell them about YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel. It's People to People with Rodney Grimes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You guys, go to YouTube. Yes. Come on, you guys. YouTube. We're going to be on YouTube. Thank you, guys.
Every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, thinking.